Borana Ranch has recently become the latest sanctuary in the quest to protect Kenya's indigenous black rhino, whose numbers have gradually risen since the decimation of their numbers in the 70s. Poaching is again on the rise and is a huge threat to their existence. It is a monumental commitment for Borana to make, and one that they have been keen to pledge for many years.
It's our problem, you know, it's our generation, our age group. We've got to kind of sort this out, and I feel quite strongly about that. And so we've got to invest the time and energy right now to do the right thing.
Now, thanks to the cooperation with the Kenya Wildlife Service, Lewa Wildlife Conservancy and Save the Rhino, the vision has become a reality.
One of the criteria that we were using to select the candidates to go to Borana was on parentage, and we were taking males that are not related because we wanted to have as much genetic variability as possible because it was a startup population.
Over 9 days, 11 rhino were darted on neighbouring Lewa Wildlife Conservancy. A spotter plane would go up each morning and work with a ground team to locate individuals. The animals, once located, were darted from a helicopter. With the rhino anaesthetised, the ground team was mobilised and the animal kept cool and closely monitored by a veterinary team, while a transmitter was inserted into their horns. The rhino were then transported a short distance to Borana, where they were free-released. Another 10 rhino arrived from Nakuru National Park and had to travel a long 7-hour journey, meaning that they were all released during night time. In 9 days, 21 rhino had been free-released onto Borana.
Well, we're quite lucky. We've got a perennial river that runs along our eastern boundary, so there's a constant source of water there all year round. We've also got a number of dams as well. A lot of it is infrastructure left over from when this was primarily a livestock ranch, which is fantastic for wildlife management, very useful tool indeed. It's really useful for managing, well, not just your rhino, but all your wildlife. The ability to turn water on and off allows you to distribute your wildlife, give areas of habitat a rest that have been overgrazed, overbrowsed, or move wildlife into areas which have been less utilised because there's no water there. The security team were trained initially in Manyani with the KWS and on Lewa with 51 Degrees with Pete Newland, who's formerly in the British military. And he's instilled a huge amount of enthusiasm and motivation with him, as well as a lot of very high skill set level, you know, ranging from their marksmanship to how they patrol, right down to basics, map reading and first aid, and it's really made a huge difference.
It's a real challenge. It's 24 hours a day of protection work, basically. You've got guys on it during the day. We've just dropped people off to look after rhino in a rhino area during the night. So 365 days of the year, 24 hours a day, you know, we have to kind of work it.
We're quite lucky in Borana with our terrain because we've got a lot of hills, and it means that a good pair of eyes with a good pair of binoculars can cover quite a large area, both in terms of monitoring the rhino and from a security point of view as well.
Our model is, in some respects, a little different to other conservation models in that we want to really use private sector commerce to, and what we do with tourists, you know. So the best thing that you can do is come and stay with us, and spend some money, drop it into the system, and we'll use it wisely.